Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Anna Terry. If you have not already met me and if you are new to this channel, welcome. In this video, I got a special request to do a full face of makeup using only one eyeshadow palette. I thought to myself, that might be a little challenging considering most eyeshadow palettes don't have a lot of different foundation shades. So I decided to pick the Morphe 35XO palette because I looked inside of this and I thought, this has a lot of good neutral colors that I might be able to play around with and make something that matches my skin tone. So I think I did a really good job. Actually, I picked the right palette for this because as y'all can tell, this foundation looks flawless. Foundation, you mean eyeshadow. Overall, I thought this would be a challenge because I didn't know that you could literally turn in one eyeshadow palette into a full face of makeup, which consists of like blush, bronzer, highlighter, eyebrow powder, eyeshadow, well obviously because this is an eyeshadow palette, so that's a given right there. But yeah, everything else, I think it went overall really well. But like I always say, please don't forget to subscribe. There's also a little notification bell down in the bottom right corner. Please click that if you would like to stay updated and see all the new videos that I upload. Like this video and comment because I love to see your comments for future videos. I love recommendations, so if you have any recommendations, please leave those in the comments below. But without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to be using the Morphe 35XO palette for this look. I picked up this palette because I tried to find one that would have more of my skin tones in it, so I could use it as a foundation, maybe a concealer, a setting powder, as well as an eyebrow color. So I hope this works, but I'm not going to use any kind of primer or anything in this video just because I wanted to make the challenge even more challenging. So to start out with my foundation, I'm going to pick the closest shade that I think will resemble well. So if I had to guess, it would either be this You Up color right here, or this Just Friends color, which is right here. So I might use a mixture of the two, but let's just dig into You Up first because it is a little lighter than the Just Friends, and if it is too light, I'll go right into Just Friends. I'm using a Real Techniques powder brush. The only thing that's not going to be out of this palette is all my brushes and mascara, and I'm also going to apply false eyelash since I do not have my Ardell clusters on, but all of the face color is going to be consisted of this palette. So let's try this as foundation. That's actually not a bad match. Let me see what Just Friends looks like. It's a little orange, but I think they go nice together. So I'm gonna apply You Up all over my face and then go over it with Just Friends. So this is what the finished application of the foundation looks like, and I'm not seeing much of a difference at all. Like, this eyeshadow is actually pulling off as foundation really well. Like, considering that I'm not even using a primer, it doesn't show anything. Like, it's not full coverage. You can see a little peek through of like my blemishes and freckles, but as an eyeshadow, it's doing a really good job portraying itself as foundation. I'm very, very impressed. Like, it's so smooth looking. I don't know if y'all can tell on camera, but in person when I'm looking at my mirror, my skin looks flawless right now. Like, it looks so smooth, and if this eyeshadow had a little bigger pan and had more product in it, I would probably use this as an everyday foundation because this seems to work very good. So I'm kind of going to go out of order on this makeup routine because I'm going to go straight to contour, and considering this is an eyeshadow palette, I kind of wanted to wait and do eyeshadow at the very end just to give this challenge a little more excitement and fun. So for the contour, I'm going to use the shade Met Online, which is a darker brown kind of shade, and hopefully this works for my contour because there wasn't another lighter brown shade that could work as the contour. So I'm just gonna try this out and hopefully it's not too dark, but if it is, we'll just keep blending. But that's the point of this challenge, right? So let's start. Not bad at all. It seems to go on good. Just a tad bit dark, but I think once I start to blend it in a little bit, it will look a little better. But I seem to have a very, very dark patch right here. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but it is caked on. just going to do my forehead now. All my little baby hairs need to get out of the way. Okay, and my nose. Ooh, yeah, okay, so eyeshadow is definitely not it for bronzing the nose because as you can tell, or I don't know if you can, but it is filling in each one of my little pores on my nose, making it look like I have dirty as crap pores. But I'm just going to take this foundation brush and just try to blend everything in. I think that's the best I'm going to get. So let's move on to blush. Okay, for blush, I'm going to take this shade called Talk Feelings, which is a mauve-ish kind of neutral pink. And it's the only shade on here that I think would pull off as blush. So I'm going to try that out on my cheekbones. This is a very, very pigmented eyeshadow. So I think I'm going to tone this down by blending it out with my foundation brush because that is going on very strong. Okay, not too bad, I guess. Okay, since I do not have a concealer, I'm going to try to brighten up the bottom of my eyes with this shade. This is called Hair Flip. So it's just this lighter kind of neutral shade that I'm going to try to use to cover up my dark circles. So let's see how this works. I don't see much of a difference, but I would feel a lot better if I knew that I had some kind of coverage under my eyes for the bags. So it's not actually looking that bad so far, but moving on to the highlighter, I'm kind of excited for this because I used to use eyeshadow for a highlighter sometimes anyway, so I'm not really scared for this step, but I'm going to be taking the shade Across the Moon, which is this kind of shimmery golden shade, and I'm just going to use that as my highlighter for my nose. Not bad at all. This is working just like a highlighter, so no problem here. It is more of a subtle shimmer, I would say. So, I mean, I'm picking up the sparkles on my nose, but as I'm applying this to like the top of my cheekbone, it is a little less sparkly. But I mean, hey, too much sparkle, you might blind some people, so I guess that's not such a bad thing. Okay, so I think I got most of my face done. I'm gonna move right into the eyebrows because I'm pretty excited about doing this. The only shade that comes close to my hair color is this shade called Make It Official. It is this darker brown shade, one of the darkest colors in the whole palette. So I'm going to try this out on my eyebrows and just see how well it resembles with my hair. Okay, that's actually not a bad match at all. This actually reminds me of the color that I used with my Anastasia Dip Brow. The only difference is this is a powder and that's a pomade. But I used to fill in my eyebrows with eyeshadow all the time in high school, so it's not much different. This is like bringing back flashback memories. It is a little harder to like draw on your eyebrows because with the pomade goes directly where you want it, but sometimes the powder, it like likes to move around in certain places on my eyebrow, especially the end tail right here. So I'm not sure if I'm liking how that looks, but I'm just going to continue. Oof. Okay, I mean, that's the best I can do on that eyebrow, so moving on. So generally this is the step where I use a liquid concealer to outline my brows, but since I do not have that, I'm going to go back into the shade Hair Flip, which is this lighter kind of neutral beige color, and then I'm going to dip my flat brush into that and just line my brows and see how this works. It actually isn't that bad. I think this is actually doing a better job than I expected it to be doing, so I don't have any complaints on that. Great, my eyebrows are done. Now moving into the eyeshadow, so what this palette is intended for. So next I'm going to be taking this kind of lighter brown beige shade. This is called Body Language, and I'm just going to apply this all over my eyelid. take this shade called Met Online, which is this darker kind of shade that I used for my contour, and I'm going to put this in my crease. Alright, so next I'm going to take the shade Make It Official, which is the shade that I use to fill in my eyebrows, and I'm just going to line my upper lash line with that. And to blend all those shades together, I'm going to be using this eyeshadow brush to just blend those shades nicely together because that last shade kind of went on a little harsh. Okay, so this is the top eyeshadow, and now I'm going to start on my bottom. So I'm just going to be taking those exact same 3 shades I used and just reapplying them in the same order. So taking the shade Body Language, which is this lighter beige color, I'm just going to go put that right on my bottom lash line. Alright, next shade I'm going to be taking Met Online, which is the shade that I used for my bronzer, and going back over my lash line. Last shade, going back in with Make It Official, which is this darker brown. I'm going to go into my lash line, but only on the outer corner this time. Okay, and taking my flat eyeshadow brush, I'm going to blend all 3 of those shades together. Alright, so now that I do not have my Ardell lash clusters on, I finally get to apply fake eyelashes. So I'm going to go in with these. These are the lashes that I got from the Shein haul that I did last week, and I'm going to apply those suckers right on my top eyelashes. Super excited for these because last week I did not get to apply these because I did have the clusters on, but they finally came off with a little push and pull. So I'm going to apply this 18-hour lash glue. This is the Ardell lash glue, and it is my all-time favorite lash glue in the entire world. It is 18 hours, but it will surely last you longer than that. This is super hard to find. You can find it at Ulta, but sometimes it literally stays out of stock for like weeks. And so as soon as it comes back on the market, I literally stocked up because this is my all-time favorite lash glue in the entire world. So I'm going to apply these lashes off camera because I can't really seem to put these on super well without getting really up close to a mirror, and I do not want to get up that close and personal with you guys on the camera, so I will be right back. Okay, you guys, I got the lashes on, so I'm going to be taking my Clinique. This is the High Impact Mascara, and I'm going to be going to do my bottom lashes off camera as well because I do like to get up close and personal with mascara as well. So stay tuned, I'll be back in 5 seconds. Alright guys, I am back. Thank you for staying tuned. Even this was kind of like a cutscene, so you really didn't end up waiting that long. But this is the finished look. I would be applying lipstick, but I didn't really know how well a powder eyeshadow would really work with a liquid or matte lipstick. So I'm going to be setting that step aside. Sorry guys, I really don't know if that would look even good on my lips. I think it would ruin this overall look because I'm actually very quite impressed with how everything turned out, considering that this is an eyeshadow palette and not concealer, brow, contour, or anything other than that. I'm super impressed actually with the foundation. I think I was most scared for that step, but I think that step is actually the one that turned out to be the most successful because of how glowing and just smooth it made my face look at the very end of this routine. Like, this is giving off a very much full coverage powder foundation look, and it's a lot less cheaper than a powder foundation usually is. Like, you could go to the store and get this eyeshadow palette for $25 and have your eyeshadow and foundation all in one palette. I think that would save about $25 extra that you really don't need to spend, but at the same time, the eyeshadow is in these little circles, so it wouldn't be much foundation. I don't know how long that would last you, but if you're on the verge of not needing to spend any money, I think that's a good route to go because this doesn't look any different than my other everyday powder foundation. So I definitely give that eyeshadow a 10 out of 10 for foundation coverage, but for contour, I wouldn't really recommend it as contour because it was a little harder to blend. It didn't go on very smooth. It would just stay on in one place and not want to move anywhere else. So that did take a little extra work to blend it all out, but I mean, at the very end, it doesn't look that bad at all. So overall, I'm very, very, very impressed with how this challenge turned out. I didn't think it was going to be that challenging, which it wasn't. I think the only challenge that I had was the eyebrows and the contour, but other than that, everything else went smoothly. smoothly, and I really enjoyed this. But like I always do in all of my other videos, I'll leave the description of the product that I used in the description below. Since this was only a one kind of product video, the description might be a little short, but this is the only palette that I used, so yeah, the description will be very short. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really did enjoy this challenge. I really enjoy any video that y'all recommend. So please, if y'all don't mind, leave some comments below of the video challenges you would like to see in the future, because seeing all these requests just make my heart happy, and I look forward to filming these. Not only are they fun, but I'm always up for a challenge. So if you have something more challenging than this, please leave it in the description below, and stay tuned if I follow through. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.